Welcome to Hold Fast Brewing. It is the coaches show for Drury University men's hockey program. My name is Kevin Kline, public address announcer for Drury Hockey. And joining us, as always, head coach Jeremy Law, assistant coach Cliff Cook. Boys, congratulations on the heck of a start to the season, huh?
Yeah, thank you. We definitely happy about being 7-1 right now, and I think it's exciting. We got a bright future here with this group, and I don't even think we've really scratched the surface of our full potential, but excited about where we're at right now.
Okay, that's something that I was going to get into with you about scratching the surface of full potential. Cookie, you and I had a conversation shortly before the game last night, 8-2 victory over Iowa State. It was after an 8-2 victory on Friday evening over Iowa State, and you said, yeah, there's a couple things we got to clean up. Has a team ever played a perfect game for a coach?
Obviously not. not if you're worth your salt, no. And, again, we still have not even come close. We've talked about it with the players. The players bring it up. We're nowhere near our potential, and yet we're still 7-1. So it bodes well for, the trend going in the right direction. We're excited about that.
Oh, you got to be excited about that. But what are the ingredients that we're missing right now?
Well, this weekend we could have cleaned up our neutral zone a bit. Defensively, we weren't bad, but we also controlled a lot of the play, so there wasn't a lot of D-zone time to really get much out of it. I think, if we're going to be nitpicky, which as coaches we are, the neutral zone is something we definitely need to clean up. And some of our, not to get too much into it, the discipline, I can be on that ride right now myself after last night. But, we've got to do a better job of staying out of the box. We've done a pretty good job of it, actually. I kind of crunched some numbers last night, and we're in the box more at home than we are on the road, and there are some other factors involved in that I will not get into at this point. But, as long as we stay out of the box, we're fine. But at the other side of that, through 8 games, we've only given up 1 goal on the penalty kill. So once we're in the box, we're still a threat. The shocking thing to me is that we only have 1 shorthanded goal at this point. So, but yeah, there's always going to be something we can clean up.
So a couple of things you brought up there, and we'll get to your aggressiveness in a little bit. But you said that we are in the penalty box more at home than we are on the road. I hear that, and I say, well, the other home teams are in the penalty box more than they are when they're playing us. Is it a matter of just defending your ice that you have more penalties?
I think that's a little bit of it. I also think like the refs we have here just call the game a little differently, and we don't really adjust to that. So I think we play pretty much the same on the road or at home, and just tend to get more calls here. And we just have to recognize that the refs more apt to make calls here, and we got to kind of tone our game down.
The trend, even at our time when he and I were together at Missouri State, and it's still a trend now. And again, I did the numbers this morning. We're 8 games in, 4 home games, 4 road games, so it's an easy barometer. We, almost to the exact decimal point, have twice as many penalty minutes at home as we do on the road total. Wow. And the similar thing was happening when we were at Missouri State. We almost always had twice as many at home as we did on the road.
So then that begs the question anyway, do referees overcompensate so that there's not a home ice advantage?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that happens for sure. I also just think the way they're used to calling the game, they're consistent at it, which is just less 5-on-5 time, more special teams. Like I said, we just have to adjust to it. And I think there's a small portion of just being amped up for our fans too, and being at home is more, just like that exciting atmosphere kind of gets the blood boiling too. So
you talked about hyped up fans. Great crowds that we've been getting for the home games. Absolutely wonderful. But last night against Iowa State, it was really a momentum kill when they were banging on the glass so hard. It was right after a goal, too. And it was just like we had a long delay to put the glass back on the ice. What do you want to say to the fans?
Yeah, I think we didn't necessarily discuss it at the time, but in hindsight, when we got in for second intermission, we talked about it. That lengthy first intermission that was a little unexpected because we actually thought the problem had been resolved during the first period. And next thing we know, we're ready to go back on the ice, and the ZAM hadn't even gone out yet. So we were a little caught off guard ourselves. that lengthy delay, which ended up being close to 20, 30 minutes, killed a lot of momentum, and we didn't catch it at first. Even as coaches, it kind of threw us off a bit. We're 5-1 going into the second, and then instantly give up a goal right away, and it was like a slap in the face. Like, oh wait, we're playing again.
Yeah, I think at the end of that period is a 1-1 period. Shots were 15-13, so we definitely came out flat, and I think part of that is the delay, but also on us as coaches not to get the boys fired up after that lengthy delay.
So is it easier to get them fired up after they've scored 5 goals and go up 5-1 in the first period, or is it easier to get them fired up if they're down a goal?
I would say it's harder. We go up 5-1 that quick, 5-0 like almost right away, and human nature, even for the most competitive guy, says, oh, okay, we can kind of put it in cruise control now. Well, as we've discussed with these guys over and over and over again throughout this year, and they've seen it firsthand now, at this level, Division I ACHA hockey, you cannot let off the gas against anybody. I don't care where they are in the rankings. I don't care what their record is. Anybody can come and bite you. And, it was, again, that second period, again, one of those wake-up calls. We've had a few of them this year where, you can't just coast. You have to continue to put the foot on the gas and, take teams out.
I think what you want to try to get out of your team for a full 60, and it's super tough. I mean, we've been doing this a long time, is in the last 2 or 3 minutes, if you're down a goal and you just have that extra effort, like you're playing, guns ablazing, everything you have, throwing everything on net, all that energy, and you just have to try to harness that for 60 minutes. It's tough to do because it's definitely like an internal mental thing, and when you're down in desperation mode is kind of what I'm trying to get at. So,
how much do you rely on the captains to do that job for you?
Well, we actually had this discussion just this week, in fact, with our captains, that when you get to the higher levels, as you know, you played baseball at a high level, there comes a point when the team takes over the locker room. The team has to set the culture. It's not the coaches that do that. We implement systems, we set the mood for everything. But there comes a point where the team, that locker room that's their room. That they set the tone, and captains are obviously a huge part of that. But we've got a team full of leadership as well, not just the guys with letters on their jerseys. So we're still building that. We're a young team. Once we get that culture sorted through the locker room, sky's the limit for what we're capable of.
We talked about recruiting last time. We're having our Canadian Thanksgiving here. The majority of our roster is from Canada. When you're recruiting, Herb Brooks had a great quote when he was talking about the Miracle on Ice team. I'm not looking for the best players. I'm looking for the right players. What are you looking for?
Yeah, definitely it's a whole package you're looking for. So first and foremost, we want good students. They're not going to be eligible to play, and honestly, good students translate usually into good character guys. So they go hand in hand. And then obviously we want competitors. Guys that are just willing to compete, run through a wall for their teammates. And the skill's a portion of it, and like their resume, where they played, how they did, that's a part of it. But just good character guys is what we're looking for.
Can skill be taught?
Well, skills can be taught to an extent. There's obviously, ingrained talent in any sport, in any walk of life. But yes, there's skills can be, especially in hockey. I think it's such a different animal from any other sport. You can't just go out into a field somewhere and kick a ball around or something like that. It's ingrained, especially in the Canadian way of life, where you're on skates from the day you're born. Even some of us Texans were as well. But yeah, I mean, we wouldn't have skill sessions and in practice if we didn't think so otherwise. But a lot at this level, while we still do some of that, these guys know what they are. They know the kind of players they are. We're not trying to change them at this point. We're just trying to enhance what they already have and put them in the best position to succeed.
I think the key is just bringing out the best in each player, having them play at their full potential. And I find that the most successful teams at this level are the guys that are willing to battle for their teammates.
Well, and we saw that this weekend with Jared and Levi. After Holly got hit in the back of the head, they immediately stood up for their fellow teammate, their captain.
They did, but there's some question as to whether it went off to the right guy or not.
Well, you got to
I
pick
think
and
that
choose.
was in football, when a running back runs out of bounds before he gets hit, they call that a business decision.
Yeah.
I think those guys had a business decision because the guy that hit Jake was a pretty big dude, and they went after a couple smaller guys just to prove their point. Understandable. I would have done the same thing.
I don't blame them either. I'm looking at the sheet right now, and after each game, I update the goals scored. Our team is so balanced this year. And with a few of the players injured, we're going to need that balance. Where is it coming from? Is it coming from them having played so many games with each other?
So right when we announced we were going to have a Division I team, Cookie and I started, the recruiting trail, and that's one thing we wanted was a deep team. So 26 to 28 guys that are all capable of being top guys, bottom guys, whatever. We just wanted a deep team and have 4 lines be able to roll. So
and part of that too, though, it's part of the growing pains as well, is understanding that we brought in a lot of top-end talented guys. And they were all, again, conversations we've had as a team recently. We have a bunch of guys that were the guy in their junior teams and wherever they've been prior to here. And now we're bringing all these guys together and trying to mesh as a group. And guys do have roles that they may not be used to. We've got guys that have spent their entire careers playing on the power play that may not be right now. But they are providing an important position in other ways for us as well. I mean, we talked about it already. Our penalty kill is lethal.
Yeah.
I've 20-something years of doing this, I've never had a penalty kill like this, where we can put anybody on the ice at this point, but a few guys in particular, we know not only with our incredible goaltending are we going to be in good shape and rarely, and for a while there, never give up a goal, but the chance of us providing offense at that point is bigger than we've ever seen. So it's making sure, the cliche in coaching, keeping the egos in check and coming together as a team and realizing we all have something that can contribute to the success of this team. And we're getting there. And it's a growing pain thing because we've all been there. We went into something when we were younger, move up to the next level where we were a stud at one level, the next level we're still a stud, but there's a lot of other studs as well.
Absolutely.
So, but it makes for a fun brand of hockey to watch, I can tell you that.
It's a beautiful brand of hockey to watch. And Cookie, you and I were talking about this before the game last night. 16 goals scored, but all we were talking about were the assists. Some beautiful pass work. Just absolutely gorgeous pass work. But my favorite part of both games is something that's not going to appear on the stat sheet, and it comes down to hockey IQ. And I want to ask you if hockey IQ can be taught, or if that's just something that is learned as you progress. The play I'm talking about is we were actually on the penalty kill, and the puck was in their side of the ice in their neutral zone, and Holly picked it up. And instead of dumping it into the corner and having a 2-on-3, he had to pulling it back and passing it back to our blue line to kill time on the penalty kill. I thought it was a brilliant move, and I'm like, man, that's not going to show up in the stat sheet. But can you teach that?
Not so much. I mean, there's a little bit you can teach hockey IQ, but most is just instincts and what these guys have. And I'll tell you, we have a very high hockey IQ team here. All these guys have been good players, like Cookie have said, and been leaders on their team, and the intelligence on the ice is definitely like above our years with this program.
Well, and I'll give you another example, and this could go for anybody on this roster because of the effort these guys give. I won't say it's rare, but in the past with us coaching, our top end guys aren't always the best defensively and the best at back checking and doing all that. They're not 200-foot players as we call them. They're maybe 100-foot players, get in the offensive zone and they go to work. After that, like, we might cross the red line going back the other way or not. But we've got a whole team of that right now, guys that will play a 200-foot game. But a prime example last night, the first part doesn't show up on the score sheet, but the end result did was Jamison St. Clair with a phenomenal back check to break up a play. Play goes back the other way. Guess who scores the goal?
Jamison St. Clair.
Rewarded for his effort. And we have a group of 20-something guys that can do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, it's a great brand of hockey. It's so much fun to watch. The power play has just been phenomenal. The penalty kill has just been phenomenal. Power play has been good too. But it took 8 games for an opposing team to score against you on their power play. Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, we just have to start a new streak.
Yeah.
So it was bound to end sometime, and we're just proud of the guys and what they've accomplished on that.
And just to give you a little quick stat here, Drury University men's ice hockey team, number 3 in the nation in goal differential. What that means is they score more goals than they give up, to the tune of plus 27 after 8 games. Guys, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That is amazing. We have a lot more to talk with you about, but we're going to take a break and come back with 2 of our star players over the weekend. Just amazing work by Anmol Garcha and also Jozef Kuchaslo.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thanks.
Awesome. We're at Hold Fast Brewing. It is the coaches show for Drury University hockey team. You can catch all the games for Drury, even the away games, on Web Sports Radio, or if they're in town, you definitely want to go out to Brightspeed Ice Park, the Stan Melton Arena, and check out live hockey. Next opportunity to do that happens on November 15th and 16th when OU comes to town. We'll give you the upcoming schedule here shortly, but it's coaches show at Hold Fast Brewing. We're back here at Hold Fast Brewing, the coaches show for Drury University hockey. A stellar weekend. 8-2 victory over Iowa State on Friday. 8-2 win again on Saturday evening. 16 goals scored, only 4 given up. That is what's added to the plus 27 differential. Number 3 in the nation in goal differential, and we're going to talk to one of the guys responsible for that. He's new to the program this year. Number 30, he's goaltender Jozef Kuchaslo. Hello, Joe.
Hi, how are we doing?
Doing great. And then we're also going to talk to another guy who's responsible for that plus 27. Did you have a 5-point weekend this weekend, Anmol?
I don't know. Maybe I did. I'm honestly not too sure. But
I know you had 3 on Friday evening, and I believe you had a goal and an assist last night. So my math is pretty rudimentary, but that all adds up to 5, my friend. Great performance by both of you this past weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So I did a little bit of research on both of you because I knew you guys were going to join us today. Anmol, there is a quote that you gave a while back, and I'm not versed in hockey. I love the sport, and I know what goals and stuff are. But what does it mean when you say, I get by opponents faster by being on my edges? What does that mean? Talking about your
Can you say that again, actually?
You say, I get by my opponents faster by being on my edges. What does on edges mean?
I don't know. It's just your ability to change direction quickly and just to beat guys off turns and just use your feet, keep them moving, and get by your opponents faster. That's kind of what it means. But if you're able to do that, be light on your feet, quick on your feet, you'll be able to do a lot. So get yourself in open spaces and get yourself some opportunities to score. So.
How did you see KT in front of the net last night on that? It's got to be the easiest goal he's ever scored. I mean, he was camped out in the crease, and you just slid the puck right over to him. But I thought you had two players on you when you saw that.
Yeah, no, KT didn't really do much there. It was all me. So I don't know. I just picked up my head and just saw him in front of the net, standing there by himself, and I don't know how he put it in, but yeah, good on him.
Joe, we're talking about the opposing goalkeeper last night, just a barrage of shots. So if a guy's camped out in front of the crease in front of you, do you let him sit there?
No, I'm probably taking him out, yeah.
Yeah.
Just not letting him, probably wouldn't let that one in. So.
What are the rules of that? If they're in that blue crease area, you're allowed to...
Oh, well, yeah, that's my crease, I guess. I can pretty much do whatever I want, but... No, yeah, he was pretty wide open there, so the goalie didn't have very much of a chance there. So
yeah.
Yeah,
their goalies, both of them faced over 40 shots this weekend.
Yeah, a lot of shots.
Yeah. If you faced 40 shots in a game,
number
one, your coaches would be all over their players. But what would you have to say to your players?
I'd try to tell them to figure it out. Yeah, I mean, if I was giving up 40, 50 shots a night, I'd be gassed, and yeah, it wouldn't be a fun night for him. So.
You know, I know in soccer, the goaltender is kind of like the general on the field. You know, he's the vocal one. He's telling everybody where to go in position. We don't get to hear it on the ice. Are you talking to the players, or is it shoot so fast that you can't?
I do. No, I do like to talk to my defensemen, and particularly, just telling them good job when they clear the puck out, and giving the forwards some crap if they don't chip the puck out on the half wall there. So, yeah, no, I'm not scared to speak my mind there.
Well, both of you are new to the program. You're new to Springfield and Drury. Anmol, your impressions of Springfield so far?
I don't know. It's a nice town. A lot to do. Just typical college town, I feel like. And I don't know. It's just fun. We all live in the same apartment building and just hang out. So it's been a good transition from junior for sure.
So when you're living in the same apartment building, you're seeing each other at practice, at games. I mean, is there any away time from your teammates?
Not really. Living with 3 other guys, it's just you always see them, but
You better like them, right?
yeah, you better like them. There's some guys on the team I definitely don't like, but I'm kidding. But no, it's been fun.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
What was it about? Was it juniors that you won goaltender of the year twice?
Oh, yeah, that was the past 2 seasons, yeah, in the KI there.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was a good experience. It kind of led me here, which is awesome. But yeah, no, I had a lot of fun, playing back home.
Where does a goalie have to be most limber? Hips, knees?
All the hips, yeah, my hips are.
Yeah?
I gotta get Sarah to look at my hips every week. So
We're going to talk
it's-
to Sarah here shortly. Sarah,
Yeah.
Sarah is the athletic trainer, and I'm going to call her the MVP of the team for sure.
Yeah, she helps me a lot.
I'm sure she
helps me a
does.
lot, yeah.
I'm sure she does. Well, guys, congratulations on a 7-1 start so far. Anmol, you're playing out of your head right now. It's just amazing to watch. Joey, you too, and the team is just fantastic. Really enjoy calling your names when you get out there on the ice. It's really fun.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you guys. November 15th and 16th, we are back on home ice, Bright Speed Arena. Oklahoma University, who is currently undefeated and ranked 16th in the country, they come to town. But before that, we've got 2 away games. I'll give you the upcoming schedule. It's the Coach's Show at Hold Fast Brewing. We're back at Hold Fast Brewing. The Coach's Show rolls on for Drury University men's ice hockey. In the previous segment, you heard me mention her name, and you heard me say that I consider her to be the MVP of the team. Every season, every game, she's the athletic trainer, Sarah Robinson. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Kevin.
Good to see you.
It's good to be here.
So, hockey is a rough sport.
You could say that, yeah.
They are always keeping you busy, I'm sure.
There's something new every single day.
What's been new this year then?
Definitely with the increased roster size, we're having 2 teams. Like, there's just a lot of bodies to have to take care of. I mean, every weekend we're adding injuries to the list, just taking care of things. It's like a revolving door, basically.
I remember at the players' introduction meeting, and you were the first speaker, and you were very, you implored them to be responsible because you're a one-person show.
Yep.
Taking care of 2 teams.
Yeah.
How taxed are you?
I'm pretty busy. Even just beyond like the hockey team, I also have other teams I take care of for Drury too. I also do men's lacrosse and women's lacrosse. We have 7 athletic trainers employed through the school, and there's a little under 800 student athletes. So across the board at Drury, we're pretty busy. We have always got a bunch of injuries, always a bunch of concussions this year. It's been really bad across campus. So we're always busy. We've always got people seeing the doctor for stuff. So it's busy, but you know what you get into when you go into athletic training, so you're just kind of used to it.
What's the worst injury you've ever had to deal with as a trainer?
Was not with this hockey team, but previously with a different hockey team, we had a guy go into the boards kind of like with his arm like in a chicken wing position, and then we had a spiral fracture of his humerus, which is this bone here. It
Yeah,
was
your
in-
bicep bone, basically.
Yep, it was in 3 pieces. He came back to the ice like he wasn't in like a bunch of pain, and he was like, yeah, my arm just feels kind of weird. And we went to go like feel it and see what's going on, and it kind of felt like the Jell-O that has like the fruit pieces in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
How are you with blood? Because it can be a bloody sport at times.
yep, definitely. Like, blood doesn't faze me. Like, if it did, I'd probably be doing something else by now. So
Yeah. How nice is it to hear a guy like Joe Kuchaslo say, I see her every game and she's always getting me ready.
yeah, I mean, it's good. it's always good to get that feedback to know that you're appreciated and all that stuff. So they're really good about it, and if I feel they're not being good about it, I give them a little bit of a hard time. So they're really good to work with.
Can you? I don't know how to say this. Are you responsible for them being able to play or not play if they've come back from an injury too soon?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
So what determines that? Because you know they want to play.
Yeah, I definitely know they want to play. Like, I understand. Like, I've been an athlete before. Like, I totally get that you want to be on the ice and you want to play and you want to be with your teammates and everything. But you have to walk that line of being able to, push through an injury versus not pushing through an injury, depending on what it is. And you have to think about the long-term consequences of, like, playing through something. There are definitely things that you can play through, but then there's also things that, like, you shouldn't be playing through because it's going to affect your quality of life afterwards. And, I mean, you don't want to get to the point where you're, like, in your 30s or 40s and you're not being able to, like, pick up your kids or, like, being active and, doing the things that you want to do, let alone continuing to play the sport that you want to play, even if it's at, like, an adult league or, like, recreationally. So
Well, I think you're talking mainly about concussion syndrome. We see it all the time in the NFL. We've seen it in the NHL, and now we're seeing a lot more concussions in collegiate hockey. Is it because the players are faster and stronger, or is it because we're just paying more attention
I think it's
to concussions?
a little bit of both. Well, we have a better understanding of, like, what a concussion is and, like, how it affects you and, like, what they actually look like versus, a couple of decades ago when it was like, oh, you just got your bell rung or, you have a headache for a little bit and then it just kind of, like, goes away. So, I mean, now we have a better understanding. We have better testing to understand, more objective testing versus just, like, subjective stuff that they tell you. So there's definitely things that, like, we see that are like, yeah, you have a concussion even though they may feel like they're fine. But, like, the testing that we can do, it kind of gives you a better understanding of what's going on.
Are concussions, are there degrees of concussions?
Not necessarily. If you go to other people, like if you get hit in the head type of thing and you end up going to the ER, they're going to give you, like, a grade of, like, a mild concussion or a severe concussion. A concussion is a concussion, no matter what it is. You still have to take it seriously, even if it's, you only have a few symptoms versus a lot of symptoms, so you still treat it the same way. It just may not be affecting you as much as it could be.
And what's the recovery time on something like that?
All up to the patient
Is
and
it?
how they recover. Pretty much everyone now is getting into, like, movement is healing the body. So with our concussion protocol, we definitely, like, get them on the bike early. We start doing, like, light cardio stuff. We do concussion rehab where we have to do a lot of, like, eye movement and dual task and balance stuff, just because you want to make that body work and you want to make that brain kind of form those connections back with the rest of the body. And it helps them recover faster. It gets their brain stronger than it was before. So we can even try to prevent concussions as much as you can prevent. I mean, if you're going to get hit, you're going to get hit.
Yeah.
But if you can try to prevent, like, maybe those little bumps and trying to get yourself better than you were before, it's going to help you in the long run.
Hockey players are notoriously tough. I've never met one that's not. But every sport has their babies, right?
Yes.
Have you had to deal with any of them?
Yes. I'm not going to name names, but they
Oh,
know.
she is looking at some of the players here, so
Yeah, you know who you are.
you know
so-
who you are. Well, Sarah, you are one of the, if not the biggest unsung hero of the Drury University men's hockey program, D1 and D3. I marvel at what you do, and I thank you for
Yeah.
being so professional and for helping our boys stay healthy and on the ice.
Yep. Thank you.
Sarah Robinson, your athletic trainer. It's the Coaches Show at Hold Fast Brewing. We will come back with our final segment with head coach Jeremy Law and assistant coach Cliff Cook. We'll talk about the upcoming schedule, and we actually have a special presentation for Coach Cook coming up next on the Coaches Show. We're back for the final segment of the Coaches Show here at Hold Fast Brewing. Head coach Jeremy Law, assistant coach Cliff Cook, your Drury University men's hockey team. 7-1 to start the season, and number 3 in the nation with goal differential of plus 27. We are probably going to crack the top 25 in ranking pretty soon, if you haven't already, right?
Yeah, the next coaches poll comes out Wednesday. We were unofficially, the only reason I say that is they only do 25 in the coaches poll, but unofficially we were 26 last week. Mm-hmm. So we anticipate not only with our result, but other results around the country that will be, I would say, healthily in the top 25. I would hope fairly well into the mix.
I would think so too. Go! Yeah, but we do have Oklahoma coming in, and they're ranked in the top 20 right now. We go on the road to play Roosevelt University in Chicago, Davenport University in Grand Rapids, Michigan. They're in the top 25 right now, so the schedule is not getting any easier.
I think that's what we're looking forward to, is playing better competition, and it's only going to make us better and see where we stand. So I know I'm looking forward to tougher competition for our guys.
Cookie, as the public address announcer, I always get the lineup sheet from you. With a team that's so deep, how do you determine who's going to start?
Actually, that's not as difficult with a team that's deep because we can kind of pick whoever. And sometimes it's a gut instinct, and sometimes it's just a reward for either a great week of practice or a good night the night before. So yeah, it's in teams past when we had a definitive 1 through 4 lineup, it was pretty. You would probably run the risk of upsetting guys that didn't get to start much, but with ours, we've got a whole team of first liners, so we can start any line and feel perfectly confident that
kind of a coach's
that
dream.
First shift is going to be just
absolutely.
fine.
And I think Gray Line got to start last night, did a phenomenal job setting the tone, and we got the momentum right away. So.
Yeah, and the Andy's Frozen Custard player of the game last night, Daniel Beaupre, I asked him, he had a heck of a weekend, and he's really come into his own. And he said, it's just a matter of I'm getting a lot of playing time, and he said, we're just gelling. How much is it repetition elevates your game?
Yeah, definitely, and I think building the chemistry, and we put some new lines together this week, and we haven't talked much about it, but I think they look good, and something we'll probably keep together for moving into the next weekend.
Well, look good on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
16 goals in 2 games, 8-2, 8-2, a plus 27 goal differential on the season, number 3 in the nation. Cliff, earlier you were talking about keeping emotions in check and everything, and last night. And by the way, this is my wife's idea. This is not my idea, but last night...
Don't turn your head over there. I see you.
Last night, you and one of the referees, Terry Farrar, were rather animated in exchanging your Christmas card home address list. So my wife wanted to start this soap collection because our nonprofit organization sells soaps as a fundraiser. And this is the first in a series of Coach Cook's collection, and this is the Scrub the Rage Away soap. So...
I'll get you Terry's address. Let's send him one of those with Cookie's picture on it.
I am not ashamed.
But what was the problem last night?
Well, I don't want to.
You can't get critical of a referee. I understand that. But
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make it any worse for myself than I did last night. I'm not. I have no regrets of what I did, because there comes a point, any coach knows, where you've got to stand up for your players. It was just a series of events, and frankly, for me, some of it started the night before, but it really started in the very first shift of the game, and it had nothing to do with us. It was actually a situation with the officials screaming at one of the Iowa State players for no reason whatsoever. They did nothing to deserve it, and I knew right away. I kind of looked at Jeremy and said, oh, it's going to be one of those kind of nights, I think. And as you know, and most people know, Jeremy and I have coached together for a long time now. This is our 3rd team together. Normally when I get in that mood, which happened a lot more frequently when I was younger, he will rein me in. He'll grab me, tell me to shut up, whatever it is. He kind of let me go last night. He kind of turned me loose and said, have at it. And then he told me after, he goes, I wasn't far behind you. So
nice.
It was one of those moments that our guys deserved better, and frankly, I think the Iowa State guys in some scenarios deserved better as well. So I had to stick up for our guys. It was too much, and we had guys getting injured on plays that weren't being called. And as a coach, no matter what I think of any given scenario, I'm always going to stand up for these guys.
One of the beautiful things about the sport of hockey is everybody's always standing up for everybody else. You talked about you and Lawsy. This is your third team. Everywhere you go, you win. Everywhere you go, you win. And it's no different to Drury. And we are so grateful to have you both behind the bench and looking forward to later on this season, especially in 2025 when we have more home games. You guys are on the road quite often. Your next two games are on the road. But before that, you have 2 weeks off. So how do you keep the players engaged during that downtime?
Well, I mean, this week coming up, since we have an off weekend, it's fall break for the university. I expected a bigger cheer from this announcement last night in the locker room. We didn't get, but we've given them Thursday off this week so they can have the full 4 day. Actually, it works out to be 5 days off because we don't practice on Mondays right now. But we're just going to practice twice this week. They've got 2 days of workouts. It's going to be a light week. We're pretty banged up right now too, so it's a chance for guys to get healthy. Guys get a bit of a rest, and then, like you said, we're headed off to Chicago in a couple weeks. Then we have another weekend off, and then we head up to Grand Rapids to play Davenport before we're home again. So giving them some time off this week, especially with the school holiday coming up, is important, we think, just to kind of reset things, give these guys a bit of a break, guys that are banged up, try and get a little healthier.
Well, I think probably the reason you didn't hear a cheer as much as you wanted to is because when you're 7-1 and you're on a huge momentum swing, you don't want the glass coming off of the ice and you have that momentum kill. So, it's they probably want to be out there playing. And,
yeah, well, they want to be playing games. I don't know if they want to be practicing.
Well, you got to practice to play the games, though, man.
Definitely a healthy balance. I think a little time off right now will be good for these guys, and then we come back, we're kind of rejuvenated, and it's a long season, so we try to time it.
We're looking forward to even more Drury University hockey men's program. The next home game, November 15th and 16th. This is really cool because you guys play at 7 o'clock on Friday night, and then right after that, the D3 team plays against Mizzou. Then Saturday, the D3 team comes back and plays at 2 in the afternoon, and you guys have your typical 6 o'clock. So 4 games in less than 48 hours that hockey fans are going to be able to see.
Yeah, and we're playing 2 big-name schools, so OU and Mizzou. It'll be a good weekend for fans for sure.
So get your tickets and make sure you come on out to Brightspeed Ice Park, Stan Melton Arena. Oh, by the way, congratulations, Stan Melton, just inducted into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Stan's a huge reason why this guy's sitting here, why I'm sitting here right now. As we said, Jeremy was at Missouri State. I joined him at Missouri State for a couple years, 2-3 years. Stan's the reason there's hockey in this town, and among his many other accomplishments, the group that's in here has every reason to thank Stan Melton for us being here and for Brightspeed Ice Park being where it is. So huge week last week for Stan getting inducted in the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. It's awesome. He's a wonderful human being. Jeremy and I owe him a lot, personally and professionally. So, yeah, it was exciting. I'm glad you remembered to bring that up. He's such a great human being. We love Stan.
Yeah, the first time I met him, it was just like, I've known him forever. He's just such a cordial man. Well, boys, congratulations on a great start to the season. Enjoy your time off, and then let's get back to the ice and win those road games and celebrate something big on November 15th and 16th.
Awesome. Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you, guys. You can get your tickets at the box office at the Stan Melton Ice Rink, Brightspeed Arena, but you can catch the away games on Web Sports Radio. Thank you for listening to the Coaches Show. Thank you for being a part of it. Boys, congratulations, and we're really excited to see more hockey this season. Thanks to Hold Fast Brewing for hosting us this week. We'll see you next time on the Coaches Show.